6-foot needle. Recently, I went to the dentist for a crown prep and a filling. For some reason, that day, it brought back a flood of memories of my dad. Some were great memories, but some were scary memories. When I was about, 3 or 4 years old, I went with my mom and my dad to my daddy's dental appointment. I remember my mom and I sitting in the outer office. We were waiting for Dad after he disappeared way down the long hallway. The office was inviting, though. It had an end table with toys on it. There was a TV, and there were also some old-fashioned magazine racks. They were sitting beside some chairs, and inside them were magazines. They were for the adults to read, but on the end tables were toys for us kids to use to keep busy with, so we could play while Mom and Dad were in the dentist. The office used to be an old house, one that the dentist had lived in, so I thought that was pretty cool all by itself, although I didn't know what a dentist was. I had heard Mom and Dad talk about the dentist, and Daddy was none too happy to go, even though my mom told him it's going to be fine. Dad had been in the outer room for a while when a nurse came in, and she asked my mom to come back with her because there was a problem. I could tell that it scared my mom, which in turn scared me. So we walked all the way down that long hallway into another little room, and there was my dad. He was laying back in this funny-looking skinny chair, and he had a towel on his head. The dentist told my mom that Dad passed out when he saw the needle for the numbing shot in his mouth. A shot in my daddy's mouth? I was little, but I knew about them awful shots. They hurt horrible, horrible bad. But man, even I couldn't imagine a shot in my mouth. Oh! Well, Dad started to wake up. I started to cry, and Mom was trying to calm us both down. Boy, oh boy, Dad was getting out of there. He was telling that nurse how bad he felt and that the dentist was never going to put that 6-foot needle in his mouth. He told the doctor, I'm leaving. No shot for me. Well, years later, I could still feel the terror when I thought of the dentist. And for years and years, I wouldn't go to the dentist. I would just let my teeth get so painful I couldn't take it. And at that point, I would go and look for a dentist that would sedate me and just pull that tooth out. But you know what? I'm so blessed. And I'm so glad I only had to do that for a couple of times. And yes, I still have my own teeth. I was afraid because my daddy was so afraid. This fear remained with me most of my young adult life. You know, I saw and I heard the fear that my dad felt that day in that dentist's office. I accepted that fear as the truth. And so from that day on, I believed everyone should be afraid of the dentist. That day convinced me, all right, if my daddy was afraid, then I was afraid too. Well, a few weeks ago, while I was at my dentist, I started to panic. I didn't understand it at all. It passed after a few seconds, but those seconds seemed like an eternity. Somehow, that started a chain reaction for me. After that day, I had several other panic attacks. I didn't get this. I had never had anything like this before. What in the world was happening to me? Gosh, I'm old. Let's just put it that way. This scenario plays out in all of our lives today. Who do you look up to? Whose truth are you believing? Maybe you have a favorite relative. Maybe we just listen to the wrong voice. The voice of the world instead of the voice of our true Father. What truth are you accepting as your own? What is it that you hear and you believe? Although I had been to the dentist many times in the last few years, and my dentist was an awesome dentist, this particular time was different. It brought up the old fear that I felt when my dad was so afraid that day at his dentist appointment. Then, because I did not understand what was really going on, the enemy had a landing strip right into my thoughts. He used that landing strip to elongate this fear inside of me and cause a few more panic attacks. He used it against me several times. But then remember, the devil is a liar. The Bible tells us in John that he is a liar and the father of lies. The Lord is so good. As we seek him, he will reveal to us what's happening. Beloved, none of us are exempt from hearing the enemy's voice. We need to pay attention to the voices in our ears, and we need to take them before the Lord. We need to see who is speaking to us. We need to see if the voice is a truthful voice. What we hear, what we see, and who we see it out of is so important. It is literally life and death to us. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life." So today, I'm asking you, check your heart for things that have entered your ears. Don't be waiting on a 6-foot needle. Put the blood of the Lamb over your heart, over your ears, and over your eyes. And hey guys, have a Jesus kind of day. Hugs.